Today we're talking about the rise of grand families, the reality that so many families have multi-generations all living under one roof, and grandma is taking care of everyone, but has no time to take care of herself. Joining us now is Wendy and her 15-year-old granddaughter, Cadence. Wendy, when did Cadence move into the house?
Cadence is 15. She's been with me since the moment she's been born. And when my son and his girlfriend, her mother, decided to separate a couple of years ago, we thought it would be best that she stay with me so that the changes in the family wouldn't affect her.
How does the worry of raising your granddaughter impact you?
Oh, it's very stressful. Between the financial burden of trying to get her medical care, just the stress of having limited parental rights, not being able to sign everything that I need to sign.
So do you feel caught between the roles of trying to parent
Definitely.
Cadence and also being her grandmother?
Definitely.
How?
First is parenting. I can't have fun. I want to be grandma, but I have a role of parent right now. So there's rules and before we can have a good time together.
So if you're so busy worrying about Cadence and taking care of her and figuring all this stuff out, who's taking care of you?
Mel, no one.
That has got to change. No, it really does, because I want to get something straight. I understand that you were a teen mom, and now your 15-year-old granddaughter is pregnant, and so you're about to be a great-grandmother, raising 2 children in the house. How do you feel about this situation?
I'm scared. I want her, my most important thing is for her to graduate high school, get a college education, so this way she will be financially able to support her child. When I was 17, I didn't have that.
So, Cadence, what does it feel like to hear your grandmother's concern and worries about you and your future?
I understand that it's going to be very hard, but I know that she's going to be there for me and to support me and the baby. And I just want her to know that no matter what, I'm going to focus on my education and raising the child to the best of my ability the way that she did.
Terrific. That's what you can do, because the decision to become a mom, even though you're 15, is an adult decision. The more that you focus on making decisions that help you climb that ladder and pull yourself up and use your grandmother as an inspiration, the more you're filling her cup. Because this isn't all on her shoulders, even though it probably feels like it, Wendy.
Yes.
The more that you start to take responsibility, not only for being an awesome mother, but also being an awesome woman, right? And getting your education, that actually takes care of your grandmother. Okay? But I am also incredibly worried about you and the fact that you don't have anybody taking care of you. It's okay. It's a lot.
It is.
And it's a hard thing to talk about because, you're happy that you have a grandchild coming, and that's something to celebrate. It's not
scary.
and it's terrifying. And you know the road ahead because you've lived it. And you know how hard it is to be a teen mom. And you know how hard it is to fight for your education and to find time for yourself and to work through the stress of this. That doesn't mean that you're not going to. Maya Angelou had her only child at the age of 17 and went on to become one of the most regarded poets and best-selling authors of all time. This doesn't define you. It's yet another experience in your life, and you get to choose how you respond to it. But Wendy, I feel so strongly that you need a support system. And, as women, we pour so much into everybody else that unless the support system is built in, we isolate, right?
That's true.
So, Charity, you said there's nothing you can do about it.
Mel, I've tried. I tried to learn how to control it. And I'm still learning how to control it. It makes me nervous. like I am now. So
You're nervous right now?
Very.
Okay, that's okay. I'm sitting right here. I'm not going to let anything happen to you, okay?
Okay.
So that's why I'm here, actually, because there's always something that you can do. So what triggers you to become nervous and anxious in your body?
I would have to say when I am in a room with a group of people.
You mean like this one?
No, Mel, it got to be quiet. If I'm in a room, like a small room, like an elevator or something like that, and then nobody's saying anything, that's when I get my anxiety start taking effect. You know, I got to know where you going, who you are, where you been, where you from, what you ate yesterday, just to make me feel comfortable. It's a mess.
Well, here's the question I have. So if there's silence, what do you feel might happen?
They judge me, or they staring at me, or they don't like me, or I may have did something to them that offended them in some way, or I don't know. That's what I deal with.
But in your head, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's this real negative feeling. You know, board-certified psychiatrist Dr. Sue Varma is joining us. Thank you for being with us. You know, Dr. Varma, I know you know this, but anxiety is the most common mental health issue in this country. It affects more than 40 million people. And, you know, personally, I'm surprised that number's not a little higher. Do you think it's underreported?
Mel, totally. Not only is anxiety underreported, but more Americans are feeling anxious than ever before. In fact, one study revealed that 40% of Americans are more stressed today than they were a year ago. And the problem with worry is that a little bit of it gets us going. It motivates us, but too much of it ends up paralyzing us. And it's sort of like it keeps us stuck in our tracks.
Yeah, exactly. And Dr. Varma, when you hear all these 5 signs, like the things that we do that may be a sign that there's anxiety underneath, what do they all reveal and have in common?
Yes, all of these 5 signs, the procrastinator, the worrier, the overtalker, the stress eater, the perfectionist, all of them have one thing in common, is worry. And they try to use worry as a form of stimulation, as a form of control, as a way to get things done. But it's sort of like a rocking chair, right? Where there's motion, but there's no forward motion. And if you're feeling too worried, it leads to anxiety. Too much anxiety leads to depression. And that really worries me because then you're really stuck.
Yeah, it's true. Now, the thing about anxiety, and this is why I'm on a mission to talk about this, to talk about mental wellness, to give people the tools, is that when you start to get stuck in the rocking chair of worrying and going nowhere, you're robbing yourself of your dreams and of your power. And so what would you be doing more of in your life if this insecurity and this fear of kind of people seeing you and judging you, if we could somehow help you deal with it?
I believe I would be singing more.
Singing?
Yeah.
Really?
I love to sing.
And you don't do it because?
You know, fear of what people going to say. You know, it's a hard world out there.
That's true.
People are sometimes mean.
But you know what's interesting is your worries are also mean. So the things that you're saying to yourself are probably worse than what anybody would ever think. And so you're actually trapping yourself in what I call the anxiety cycle, okay? Let me explain it to you. So doctor's right. It starts with worrying. And what happens is when you start to spin these negative thoughts in your head, it signals a trigger in your body. You see, your body's connected to your brain. So when your thoughts are like, oh my God, they're judging me, and what am I gonna do? And maybe they're thinking about this, your body starts to take notice, and it gets a little nervous because you're now thinking nervous thoughts, and your body goes into this state of agitation. Science calls it fight or flight. It just means it's getting ready to do something. And when you're in a fight or flight mode because your thoughts are nervous, oh my God, are they judging me? What are they thinking? What's going to happen? You get physical symptoms. You can have a loss of appetite, your stomach ever start to turn on you, your hands get clammy, your heart can race. In order to stop the anxiety cycle, Dr. Varma already talked about this. I'm going to hammer this home. You have to hit it where it begins. So we have to go to the root cause, which is the pattern of worrying that you have, okay?